everyone, and welcome to another webisode of my story, where I tell my life story in 15-minute webisodes. So, where was I with my story? I was talking about when my daughters were first visiting their biological father, and how I got to go visit my friends, and I was preparing for my new career at Cashapp. But it was kind of like a vacation for me, and I was having a lot of fun doing it. I was visiting a friend for the week, and it was my turn to have the girls for the weekend. And so we did the exchange. I drove almost all the way to the city where he was at, because it was about an hour away from where I was staying. It was about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. So I drove like almost all the way there, and I met him in the nearest city to him. And I got my daughters and we went to her house and we were hanging out. I asked her if it would be cool for us to be there that weekend, and she was like, yeah, it would be awesome. And all of the kids played really well together. And in the evening time, it was time I was going to go through our bedtime routine. I was going to see if they still remembered it, and they did. But my oldest daughter, on her chest, it was like a bullseye on her chest, red bullseye on her chest. And I asked my friend if she knew what it was, and I wasn't sure what it was. And my friend advised me that I should go to the doctor and get it checked out. Now, if we were in state, I would go to my regular doctor. I would actually go onto the Army post. And that's how I would go to just the regular doctor, not necessarily the hospital. But because of their insurance, the insurance that they were on, because I had married Dave and he was in the military, we had the military insurance. TRICARE was what it was called back then. And the protocol, if you're out of state, is to go to a hospital. And in my state, there's a children's hospital. It's one of the best children's hospitals. And so I decided to take her there, that would be the best place to take her. So I called Zach, and he did not answer his phone. He ignored my call because I wanted to let him know I'm taking her to children's and I'll let you know what happens. He did not answer the phone call. We went to children's, and they wanted to run tests. So they were running tests, and we ended up staying there for a couple days. But the day that it was time for me to hand over my daughter to Zach, we were still at children's. And Zach had not answered. He did not answer his phone the whole time. And whenever it was time, it was the day of handoff, he called me and was like, where would you like to meet? And I was like, let's meet at Children's Hospital, because that's where I'm at. And they're going to be doing the discharge papers here soon. I found out they had to run tests and they had to watch her and everything. She was running a fever. She had Rocky Mountain tick fever. She had gotten bit by a tick, and she had a reaction to the tick bite. So she was going to be put on 2 types of antibiotics, I think, and like a steroid or something like that. I don't know. It was 3 types of medicines that she was going to have to take. And Zach and them pretty much got there right as the discharges were happening, because actually where he was living is closer to the hospital than where I was staying. But anyway, so we get there, and Zach is just like wanting to leave immediately. He grabs the girls and he's like, well, we gotta go. And I was like, he's like, we gotta go. And his nephew was in the hospital, so they were gonna go visit him, which was okay. And I was like, well, why don't we go to the pharmacy first? That way I can use my insurance for them to get her medicine. And he was like, no, I'll get her medicine. I know how to get medicine, okay? And I'm just like, okay, all right then, bye. And I took my youngest daughter and we went back to my friend's house. But this time, I didn't want, I wanted to visit different friends. So this time I met up with Jerica. And Jerica lives in the same city that Zach was staying in. Actually, Zach was staying in like an adjacent city to where Jerica lives. So I was just hanging out with Jerica, and I get a phone call from Zach, and I'm not like him. If he has my babies, and he calls me, I'm gonna answer the phone every single time. So he calls and he says, I'm at the pharmacy in the village, which is, it's by the city that he stays in, and we're trying to pick up the medicine, and I need your insurance numbers. Well, the way that the military insurance numbers work is the number that I would give them is Dave's social, and I didn't want to risk that. I mean, I know that his girlfriend knows about military stuff, and I don't know. I didn't feel right giving them that. And I was like, no, I don't think so. And I told Jerica what happened, and Jerica's like, of course, all you had to do is go get the medicine. But and I'm like, I know. But I asked Jerica if she would take me, or if she wanted to go with me. She ended up taking me to the village and meeting them at the pharmacy so that I could get the medicine. And Zach's girlfriend was so upset. She was like, I'm gonna make sure you do not get to see the kids. You do not get to see the kids. All you're doing is paying with the insurance so that they can have their medicine, okay? I'm like, okay, calm down, sweetie. It's okay. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about protecting Dave's privacy, protecting our privacy, and making sure that the kids get their medicine. As long as you're okay with giving her medicine, if I get you this medicine and I give it to you, because Zach found out that without the insurance, it's going to be costing a lot of money. So I got the medicine and I gave it to her, and I was like, please give it to her. Make sure that she takes it regularly and everything. And she's like, I know what I'm doing. Like, okay. Thank God. Thank God. I sure hope so. But yeah, so I went back to Jerica's house and got to hang out with her for a while, and it was nice to have a friend that understood that, man, his girl was acting like cray and he was acting like cray, so it's nice to have someone that you can lean on. And then I went and hung out with another friend of mine who I have 3 girls, and she has a girl and 2 boys. And they just live way out in the country, and her husband is best friends with my little brother, and my little brother was staying with them. So I liked that I could go hang out with them, and yeah, my little brother and everything. So I went and I was just hanging out with them, and I mean, just party central pretty much, and yeah, then her oldest daughter was my oldest daughter's age. They were the same age, and I hung out with her back in the day whenever my daughter was a baby, and before we had moved to the other state. Whenever she was a baby, I would hang out with her all the time, because her boyfriend and my brother were best friends. So we got along really well, and I really wanted our kids to get along really well. I loved her daughter and her daughter's name, and her daughter was having a birthday party over the weekend, and I really hoped that I could take my daughters to the birthday party. And so I called up Zach and asked him if I could have the girls for one day on the weekend, because I was supposed to have every other weekend. So I was asking for one day on the weekend just to take them to a party, and then I'll bring them back. And he's like, okay, that'll work. You can do that. And so I'm like, yay! So I did get to go pick up the girls, and we went to this birthday party, and they were a lot more clingy to me. I think that it was hard for them. I don't think that it's easy for kids to be in different households like that, and they were used to me always being there, and I think that it was getting confusing for them. And So after that, I took them back. They went to the birthday party and they had fun, but I don't know. They were a little different. And so I take them back, and now I'm going back to my hometown, and I want to visit who I call my little sister. Her mother was young whenever she had her, and she's her mother and my stepfather. My brother's dad is her dad. So I ended up staying with her mother because she wasn't around. She was living her life. She was young, and not young, but young, and a young adult, and I think she had had her baby yet. I don't think so. I don't think she had her baby yet. But so I didn't get to see my sister very much. I did get to see her one day, so that was really cool. But I went and hung out with her mom, who I loved and adored her mom. Whenever I was 13, her mom comes and knocks on her door, and she was 19, big and pregnant, and she's just like, I wanted to let y'all know that I'm pregnant with his baby. And I was so in love with this girl, so happy that she's like bringing a baby into our world. And I don't know. And she was a hardworking woman, and she is a hardworking woman. And so I was staying with her, and this was the final week of the girls staying with Zach. And there was one night, I don't know, I went to sleep, and I felt something, y'all. And it wasn't a good feeling. And all I could think is, I want my babies. And I got up early. I watched the sunrise, and I waited till about 8 a.m. and I called wanting to talk to them. And my oldest daughter got on the phone, and she was just her voice. Mommy, she's like, I want to come home. Can I come home? I want to come home, Mommy. Please let me come home. Please. It crushed my soul, y'all. It was hard, and I was like, yeah, you can come home. You're gonna come home. It's gonna just be in just a few more days. At that point, we had 4 days left of the full 30-day period. 4 days, baby girl. This weekend, I'm gonna be picking you up, and you're gonna come right on home, and it's gonna be all right, okay? Okay. I was like, okay, baby girl. I love you so much. She's like, I love you too. So, I don't know, y'all. I hung up, and I told my sister's mother. I said something happened. I don't know what it is. And I mean, whether I put this in my mind or not, I don't know. But I felt something, and I don't know. I'm just telling my fictional story, how I saw it. So that's where we'll pick up with the next one, guys. I'm so thankful that you're watching this. I'm so thankful that you're here. Thank you for listening to my story. And as always, be blessed with love. That's all. Wait a minute. No, that's not all she got. She got a little bit to say just here at the end. So hold on, folks. I just want to say really, really quick, I've got an exciting opportunity to share with you. As a student and a content creator, I pour my heart and my soul into each and every video. And I absolutely love bringing you all along on my crazy adventures. But creating quality content requires a lot of time effort, and resources. But that's where you can come in. If you enjoy my videos and want to share your support, I've set up a few ways for you to contribute and become an even more integral part of the Mystic Hillbilly community. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me to continue doing what I love most. First of all, I have a few donation options available to you. If you'd like to make a one-time contribution, you can find the links to my Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal in the video descriptions. And every single donation, no matter how big or small, truly makes a difference and allows me to create even more exciting content for you all. But wait, there's more. I'm thrilled to introduce to you my Patreon membership, where for only $5.55 a month, you can gain access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content and outtakes from all my videos. As a Patreon supporter, you'll get to see all the edits and behind-the-scenes bloopers that didn't make it in the final cut. It's like having a VIP pass to the Mystic Hillbilly editing room. This is really something special for all my haters out there. As a member, you'll gain access to hours of footage of me making mistakes, doing everything wrong, and just having an all-around hilarious time. So, haters, if you ever want to see me in my most human, this is your golden opportunity. So, whether you choose to become a member or make a donation, know that your support is deeply appreciated. I genuinely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this amazing journey with me. Your positive energy and contributions mean everything to me. Before I go, I just want to take a moment to say that I pray that every blessing sent my way is multiplied and returned to the sender tenfold. May success find their way into your lives as you've brought them into mine. Thank you all so much for your support, and until next time, stay adventurous, stay curious, and always remember to keep the mystic in you alive. And now, that's all she got.